Yeah, so after my car was done, I walked around, looked at this beautiful red-eye Challenger. No prices listed, and I wasn't able to find it online. But as you can see, it's a wide body, so this would be super expensive. And again, nobody I don't think there's any interest right now in these cars, especially in winter, but it's just sitting there. See, 2023 Challenger Hellcat red-eye wide body. So they're still available if you're crazy enough to spend the money. And then they had this green wide body Charger 392. The wheels are amazing on this thing. So this is also 2023, so brand new, but 392, so it's only 6.4 liter engine, not a Hellcat. I was able to find the price online. Look at the wheels, man. It's a swinger. I was able to find the price online on Auto Trader. They're selling it for 83,000 Canadian. Love those wheels. 83,000 Canadian. And then parked next to it is you're gonna see in a second, Challenger 392. And actually I think I saw these. See, that's the 392 emblem. I saw these cars probably, I don't know, 6 months ago when I visited the same Country Hills Chrysler. And so they have hard time selling them. And so here you have a TA 392 with this beautiful color scheme. So 392 cubic inches, and it has a manual transmission. That would definitely make it way more difficult for them to find a buyer. So this one I was also able to find the price on Auto Trader. So they're asking 81,000 Canadian for this Challenger. Not sure what kind of tires it has. Probably has summer tires, because I'm pretty sure these were sitting here since the summer. Okay. And again, sorry, I'm doing a voiceover because there was a loud music playing inside the dealer, so I had to disable the audio. And so yeah, gorgeous car. But again, this is for rich people. They have another car as a daily driver, and then they just use this for fun, you know, some weekends, some coffee meets, stuff like that. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't record audio in there. Oh, and they have another one here. This is a Daytona Charger. So these are the dying breed, right? And look at this. This is 392. I don't know if you can see that. Ah, disappeared. But basically, it's a rare to have Daytona as a 392, and I think it's swinger as well. Yeah, Charger. So it has a 6.4 liter engine. Like, I had the same car. My previous, before the Hellcat, was Daytona, a regular body Charger, but it was a RT, so which means that it only had 5.7 liter engine. So anyway, let's go find my car. So I just came in here to do this is the closest Chrysler to my home. There's freaking music everywhere, and of course you cannot record copyrighted music. But yeah, my Jeep Compass now is at pretty much 12,000. Oh, they didn't even change the sticker. You know, there was a sticker here that said 12,000. So I'm guessing now the next will be at, I don't know, 18,000. And I asked them if they could, they're gonna check levels, because this was just oil change, right? They said, yeah, you see, I'm at 11,988 kilometers. And so -2 Celsius today, 271 Kelvin. So I think I'll just go to a coffee shop. It's 9:45, and these guys have a express service. But my favorite dealer, but they're like 20 kilometers away, East Side Dodge, that's where I bought this car. They have 2 doors, like appointment for service and express. Express, they told me many times, you do not need any appointment. Okay, you just go there like regular oil change. But these guys, they just opened like last year here in my area, so I don't have to drive downtown anymore. And I showed up this morning, and they opened the door, and the first thing they asked me is, do you have an appointment? I said, well, I use this express service door at Eastside Dodge, and they told me you don't need any appointments. And she says, no, we're very busy, so we can do it this time, but it'll be about hour 45 minutes, 2 hours wait. Are you okay with that? I said, yeah, because I can just, they have a nice sitting area, you know, lounge with a little restaurant in there. You can order some food. I got some free coffee. I got some omelette with veggies. Now I feel really full. Usually I don't have breakfast. And and I see actually they have a couple of other Challengers, but these are probably used. They have a green Challenger and a white Challenger, but these are probably just RT, because I think there's a big gap between the wheels. That's how you can tell. RT is just basic version. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys these cars, because that's why I called this video the dying breed, because you will not see them again until I think 2025 or 2026, when they come up with the electric version. Or actually no, they're gonna do dual turbo. That's what they're gonna be putting in Ram trucks, some kind of a Hurricane engine. Check. See this? That's RT. I see on the right it says RT, so that's a Challenger RT. That one looks like new. Yeah, there are lots of vehicles here, but Jeeps, trucks. Somebody exchanged a Toyota here, and these guys super busy. Now this is interesting. Like, why would he buckling this? Huh. Sorry, there was now I know what's going on. There was a car carrier parked in there, so the guy is right in the middle of the road and he's unloading this Jeep. So I'm guessing that's the Jeep that was sitting there, Wrangler. It just came off the truck, and it's very difficult to see anything because the guy was blocking the view. So I didn't want to get into an accident or anything like that. So. But yeah, it was a good experience. Very polite employees there, except yeah, they said make sure you book an appointment next time for oil change. Oh, and I talked today to my friend Umberto. He said that car, that little Spark, is super nice on gas. He said that it only takes 30 liters when he refilled it, but he says that 30 liters lasted him 500 kilometers. So which means that basically 10 liters is good for, what is it, 5 divided by 3, 175 kilometers. So I'm guessing he's doing like 6 liters per 100 kilometers, you know, so which is pretty good. And he drove all through the night. He said he didn't feel like sleeping, so he went all the way from Calgary to the border with Ontario, between Manitoba and Ontario, which is, I don't know, it's way more than 700 miles. But you know, you don't have any logbook, right? So you can drive as much as you want. But one funny thing happened, he said, and actually I almost did that myself a couple of times. You know how you drive a car, but you're a trucker, right? So you're used to inspection stations, and if there's an inspection station that's open, you go in. And so this guy, and plus he's half asleep, right? Probably tired, you know, not half asleep, but tired after such a long drive from Calgary all the way there. It's like 850, I don't know, 900 miles. And the scale, when you enter Ontario from Manitoba, there's a scale in the middle between the lanes, like westbound and eastbound. There's a scale, and very often it's open. And he says this time he's driving and the scale is open, and he has this tiny Chevy Spark, and he says just by habit he pulled in. He pulled into the inspection station, and he says the inspector looks at him kind of like funny, and then decides to come out, and he says, do you think you're overweight on your rear axle? Because he saw a dog in there, right? And this guy says, Humberto says, oh, I'm sorry. He says, I'm a trucker. I wasn't thinking. I saw the scale open. I'm sorry. And the inspector started laughing. And so now he's last time I talked to him, like an hour ago, he said he was about an hour away from Dryden, Ontario. So he's making some crazy good time. So he's probably gonna be in Montreal, I don't know, probably Saturday. What's today? The Thursday, right? So, you know, like truckers, right? We're used to driving a long time. And so this guy just did some crazy 900 miles without stopping, except I think he said he stopped for gas and to, you know, to take a leak. And he said the dog behaved for some reason, and his car, the dog was super calm. It was just sleeping on the back seat. I don't know why it was whining and complaining when he was in my Jeep, especially since Umberto sat next to him. But for some reason the dog was so nervous, just making all kinds of sounds. I felt really sorry for him, and that experience made me reconsider my desire to get a dog, because forget it, it's like a kid, you know, like a baby that you have to babysit. I don't have time for that. And in other news, my friend, my freight broker friend from Nisku, Alberta, was supposed to come, and usually we do like a meet on Christmas or New Year's Eve. This is the guy I worked with when I worked for the big freight brokerage, right? So, but somebody in his family had a stroke and died, so he has to go to the funeral. So, but we might do it later, maybe not this weekend, but maybe next weekend, I don't know, because my birthday is coming up. So, well, and also I was thinking about these licenses, right? I still didn't get my class 4 license, still waiting a little bit, but I researched the interesting question that popped into my head. What would happen if I moved back to Ontario? Because Ontario the lowest license you can get is Class G, right? And Class G in Ontario allows you to work for hire. So basically, if I were to move to Ontario, they would exchange my Class 5 Alberta license for G license in Ontario, and then I can work at Uber. But the thing is, when I researched it, I went, I found all the answers online. I didn't have to call anybody. It says, how to exchange Alberta Class 5 license for an Ontario license. And right away I saw an answer on the ontario.ca or something, like Ontario Transportation website, Ministry of Transportation. And they said, actually, when you come from a different province, you still have to do, you don't have to do a medical, but you still have to do a vision test. So they're not going to give you a license without a vision test. But I think when I was moving here, there was no vision test. Or maybe it was actually. Like right when at the registry or at the DOT office, they have those machines, like where you look inside and there's like they show you pictures of some rings with a broken side, and you have to tell them where the gap is, like this way up, like this. But it's a ring with a missing small piece, right? Like a illuminated ring. I think I had to do that. So they do the same in Ontario. But again, so what's funny is that if I were to sell my apartment and move back to Ontario, I would get Class G. Well, I don't know, maybe they would even allow me Class A, which is Class 1, but I don't think so, since now they have very strict requirements. But Class G is much more beneficial than Class 5 in Alberta. But where do you live, right? You sell the apartment, okay, I can clear like 100 grand because I put such a big down payment, and my apartment went up in price very lucky for me in 1 year. So, but I have a lot of debts because I didn't work pretty much for a year. And then in Ontario, I did apply for a couple of jobs. Like I found somebody is looking for a wheel loader operator. What's funny, on a Cat 966, exactly the same machine, I was offered to operate for 1 day on the Drumheller solar farm. But here they didn't say if it is a joystick or a steering wheel. But basically some kind of a landscaping company where you have to basically, move material, load material on trucks, and they said somewhere around $30 an hour, Canadian, and it's just north of Toronto. But again, you have to live somewhere. And from what I remember, maybe now the situation is better, but back when I was leaving in September 22, the same apartment that I have now in Ontario would cost about $2,500 a month. Of course, all Canadian funds. So, which makes no sense, right? So you move there, okay, you get your license, but you still have to do a vision test. And also over there, salaries are usually lower than here. Like a job that pays here $30 an hour, in Ontario will be $20-25 an hour, because I already saw it on indeed.ca, where they post job openings. I also applied for a couple of positions here. One was also some kind of big landscape company looking for a wheel loader and skid steer operator, and another one was part-time for snow plow and skid steer, basically to clean snow. But that's part-time, so it's only when big snowstorm happens. But that would be actually ideal for me. Like honestly, I don't want to work 10-12 hours a day. I would really enjoy doing this part-time, like a few days a week, because I have other sources of income, YouTube, occasional photography, stuff like that. But anyway, that's what I've been busy with. So thinking about all these potential opportunities in other parts of Canada. But again, I would hate to sell my apartment. I don't want to do it. I really enjoy that part of Calgary. I like that we are close to mountains. I can go hiking, I can go target shooting, on Crown land. And in general, like, the cost of living here is way cheaper than in Ontario or Quebec, you know. So anyway, so Umberto is doing good on his way back home. Oh, and actually one more thing. I asked that when I was there picking up my car at the Chrysler deal, I asked him, I said, guys, here's a, you know, hypothetical situation. What if I lose my keys and my, you know, wallet, and I need to replace keys? How would you go about it, you know, just out of curiosity? And he says, well, you still need to confirm your identity somehow. So, you know, he says, if you were to go to a registry or DOT office here and just get some kind of a temporary license, something to prove your identity. But then he says the keys to actually issue the first we still have to confirm that you are who you say you are, but to get new keys, all we need is the VIN number. So, you know, you tell us the VIN number of your vehicle and we'll issue you the keys. Of course, they're going to charge you for that, but that's why it's great that, you know, Umberto got his driver's license back, even though it's expired. I mean, he canceled it, right? So now he has to reactivate it, but you still need some kind of a ID confirmation, right? And that's why I never take my wallet out of my clothes. I always carry it either in my jacket or in my pocket, where, like, if I have jeans, I always carry wallet in my right front pocket because it's very tight, so nobody can steal it. Whereas in the back, if you have it in your back pocket, somebody can pick it, right? So steal it, or it can fall out, whatever. And then if I have my jacket on, I just carry it in this pocket. I just have it, you know, zipped up, so I don't lose it. And I often touch the pocket, make sure I still have it there, because, you know, I'm very afraid to have a situation what happened to Umberto, because I cannot imagine, you know, the stress of losing all your ID cards, and especially all your credit cards and debit cards, and your, you know, health insurance card. Just a nightmare. Anyway, so yeah, he's now on the way back, and he was saying that he's thinking about getting maybe a pickup truck, you know, with dual wheels, so he can do some hotshot. And I said, why you don't want to use that free truck that his Peterbilt dealer offered him? He says, well, because to register that truck with Landstar, he says it takes a very long time. Sometimes it can take up to a month. And he says some guys found this, that even somebody offers them a free rental, it takes forever to make that truck kind of like legal for use with Landstar. You know, you have to do all kinds of inspections, you know. So he was thinking basically of switching to Hotshot, but I don't know, it doesn't pay that much, and you would need a trailer, right? And I think he just bought, a couple of months ago, he bought a reefer trailer, like a used reefer trailer. So anyway, I wish him all the best. Hopefully he'll be able to get his replacement keys and all his cards back. So, but yeah, that's what happens on the road, so you gotta be careful when you're driving a big vehicle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy holidays once again. Captain Sergei out.